So, I heard you like short, easy to understand and straight to the point guides. Here's everything you need to know about farming Sollant and why it is important for your progression. There's a saying in MMORPG games that goes, you can never have enough gold, which is also true for Throne and Liberty. You can never have enough Sollant, and you will never stop farming Sollant. It is used for absolutely everything in the game, from paying teleporting fees to crafting literally anything to upgrading your gear. While there aren't many things you can do to farm large amounts of Sollant, there are different ways that when combined together can get you millions of Sollant with just 1 or 2 hours of daily farming. As you level up from 1 to 50, you will gain about 1 to 2 million of Sollant, which will be your first real Sollant farming. But that amount of Sollant will quickly dry out and you will need more. The first thing will be contracts, which are a part of your daily routine. Completing contracts is a great way to earn Sollant while gaining materials that will help you upgrade your gear and your skills. At level 50, every contract you complete rewards you with 75,000 Sollant, which means that you can easily get 750,000 Sollant every day if you complete 10 contracts. When your contract rights refresh. After leveling up to 50 for the first time, you should have around 60 contracts, which means as soon as you hit level 50, you can go through all 60 contracts, which will get you 4.5 million Sollant. Dungeons are also part of your daily routine, and every day 900 dungeon tokens are refreshed, which is enough for 3 tier 1 dungeon runs. Each dungeon run can get you anywhere from 50k to 100k Sollant, and on top of that drops gear, items and materials that are also worth some Sollant if you decide to sell it to the merchant. The most consistent way of farming Sollant will be open world dungeons. Doing different kinds of activities will reward you with some abyssal tokens. These tokens are spent every time you kill a mob in the open world dungeon, as they drop items and large amounts of Sollant per each kill. Abyssal tokens have a limit of 20k, so you should never let it reach that limit and always try to farm at least some of them away. Higher level open world dungeons will give more Sollant per kill than lower level ones. The 20k abyssal tokens can be easily spent in 1 to 2 hours of solo farming and less than 1 hour with a full group of 6, and I was able to farm anywhere from 10 million to 30 million Sollant after spending all 20k tokens. As you farm open world dungeons, you also drop materials, gear and items. Most importantly, you can drop precious marvins, emeralds, talon and rubies. Selling one precious marvin at a merchant is worth 432,000 Sollant, while rubies, talon and emerald are worth 288,000 Sollant each per one. Combine selling these materials with Sollant gain just from farming and you can easily reach over 20 million Sollant during one farming session, depending on the RNG of course. Another big part of obtaining Sollant consistently will be dynamic events which happen every day every few hours. The higher level the event, the better Sollant rewards for placing higher on the rankings. Always aiming for the top 10 in any kind of event will be your ultimate goal for best rewards and highest amount of Sollant. There will be a point in the game where you will have a lot of Amitoys and Morphs unlocked, especially if you consistently do events which also have Amitoys and Morphs as top 10 rewards. These excess Amitoys and Morphs can also be sold at a merchant. Amitoys are sold for around 120k Sollant, while Morphs are sold for around 240k Sollant each. It's important to finish dynamic events in the top 10 for these extra Sollant rewards. If you know how to farm Lucent and pretty much never run out of Lucent, the best way also to never run out of Sollant is by having an endless source of Lucent. Whether you spend real money to gain Lucent or you gain it by selling traits, gear and items. By buying previously mentioned precious marvins from auction house for Lucent, you essentially convert Lucent into Sollant. The marvins could be overpriced early on, so be very careful not to spend a lot of Lucent, but later in the game it will be very easy and consistent way of gaining large amounts of Sollant if you need it. This requires knowledge of earning Lucent, so if you haven't already, watch my previous guide on how to consistently acquire Lucent as a free-to-play player by clicking on the video appearing on your screen.